But let's get to some underreactions here. And so let's start, in that same division, but with a different quarterback.
Go! You like that on 3, 1, 2, 3! You like it!
All right. And the tweets are coming in here. So honestly, obviously, you're seeing that. It's Kirk Cousins. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I'm seeing happen here. We had Mark Ingram come on the show and say he wants Andy Dalton to do the same thing. This is going to trend. We saw Adam Schefter. If they didn't jump the shark, I don't know when it will, but it's going to keep rolling. And they deserve the love. They're winning, and they're winning in a crazy way. But that's what I think we're underreacting to. The way the Vikings are pulling off these wins right now. They are 7-1. Credit to them for finding these ways to win. But you have to just admit it. No one's really talking about it. It's been a bit odd. And I'm so curious to see if they can keep it up. So take a look at some of these numbers. You got to start with the good, of course. Sunday, Kirk Cousins led his 4th game-winning drive to cap his 4th quarter comeback win this season. And that already ties his career high in both categories. And he's rewriting the narrative that he can't come through in the clutch, which is what followed him and haunted him. That, and of course, under the bright lights of primetime. But then it's like, okay, that's the good. And on the other side, the Vikings have gone through these absolutely bizarre stretches during these games. In almost every win, they've started off hot, then they go into some sort of sleep snooze fest offensively. They go into airplane mode. Then they blow a lead, and then they turn it into some weird 4th quarter escape artist, like magician stuff. So it's gotten them to the 2nd best record. So it works. 2nd best record in the NFL, the halfway mark of the season. But I'm so curious to hear from Vikings fans, who I do think are the most downtrodden fan base in the NFL. The ones who've been through the most pain, the ones who need a win, and a win in the National Football League the most. In a big way, in a deep playoff Super Bowl kind of way. I know everyone's got the Bills, there's that too, but the Vikings low key, they've had it rough. How sustainable do you think this is, Vikings fans? Are you worried about it at all? Are you enjoying the process like we saw with the Bengals last year? The fans were just like, I'm in on this, whatever it is. Because part of my brain says, I don't know. They might have to be more consistent from start to finish if they're going to beat the top teams in the league. Remember, Eagles, they got blown out by the Eagles, a top team. But then a part of me says, listen, that exorcism sort of stuff, that when the Chargers stop charging, if they ever do, like there's something to that. Maybe this Viking squad has conquered some of those demons. So we are going to find out which it is at some point, and it might even be this weekend. Huge game. Oh my gosh. Vikings, not Commanders. That already happened. Vikings, Buffalo this week. Wow. All right. The other thing we're underreacting to, there's a game in Munich. I talked to Levante David yesterday about the Autobahn and about Lederhosen and all of that. So we'll have that interview for you guys tomorrow as they head to take on the Seahawks. It's Bucs Seahawks, Brady, Geno Smith in Munich as part of the international series for the NFL. And it's all Geno all the time, right? We're talking about people wrote him off. He never wrote back. His relationship with Pete Carroll, all of that, and it's beautiful. Yogi Roth will be here. He worked with Pete Carroll at USC, so he'll have some insight into the legacy that is Pete Carroll and him adding to it with this next chapter. With Geno, of course, but we're underreacting people to rookie Kenneth Walker and his impact on the Seahawks because, yes, Geno deserves tons of credit for what he's doing, but his story kind of is overshadowing one of Kenneth Walker that deserves attention. Remember, the Seahawks, they were 2-3 after week 5. 2-3. 2nd-round pick Kenneth Walker became the starting running back following the injury to Rashard Penny. And look what's happened since. Just take a look at the numbers. They speak for themselves. The Seahawks haven't lost a game with Walker rushing for over 100 yards a game over that span and leading the entire NFL, the entire league with 6 touchdowns. I think Walker's taken over the lead for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that. Do you agree? At Up and Adam Show. And if he keeps running like this, he's going to run those Seahawks right into the playoffs and maybe right to a division title, which is insane to think about, but it might happen. So those Bucs are going to have their hands full overseas, internationally this weekend. Another thing we are underreacting to, and I want to fire tweets throughout these shows, so let me know if you guys have any. Is my helmet still even up here? Oh, it is. Is no one talking about the Chargers? Can we pan up a little bit so we can look? Even our screen doesn't. Can we pan up a little bit with the camera? Probably not. Oh, slow. It was a slow pan. Oh boy. Okay, up further. Nope, can't do it. All right. Well, there's a Chargers helmet somewhere up there in the, it's okay, Marissa, I don't care. But nobody's talking about, did they disappear from the National Football League? Are they not doing well? If there's anything that can sum up the Falcons and Chargers, it is this exact play. Take a look. LA fumbling away a shot at a game-winning field goal, only to have the Falcons fumbling it right back to set up the Chargers walk-off win. This is amazing. But in all seriousness, I give this Chargers team so much credit for finding a way, like they just did there. No Keenan Allen, no Mike Williams, no Bosa, no Slater. Herbert has some sort of rib injury that he's battling through and fighting through. They're down 10-zip in the first quarter. LA fights back to get a 2017 win to move to 5-3. This is stuff that never happened with the Chargers. For like 10 straight years, this would not happen. They're right inside the playoff picture. Nobody is talking about the Chargers. And I think a lot of people wrote off this LA squad because of all the injuries that I just mentioned, the early season ones. But I think that they are proving week in, week out, they're a playoff contender. And I know Mahomes is crushing it, and it looks great in that AFC West, and he deserves all the love, and they're probably going to take the division. But you got to credit Herbert, and you got to credit Staley for keeping this thing on track. Not many teams could do what they're doing in the face of adversity and all the injuries that they have, and in that division with Mahomes. So I just think that that's something that we are underreacting to. Stop forgetting about the Chargers. All right. Do I even want to look at my Twitter feed of these Bears fans?